Welcome to my weekly pet pairing video, you guys. I've already done pretty much everything. I'm going to start at the foundation step because I am kind of revisiting the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. Everyone's been releasing their videos and my hands have been itching to purchase the full size, even though I was not even completely convinced that I like the foundation so much that I would like to purchase it upon release. And I absolutely do not need a new foundation at the moment because I go through foundations really slowly, so I still have a ton of my older really good foundations that I need to go through first. But I want to revisit the foundation because last time I used it I really liked it, but I also wasn't 100% convinced that I liked the formula so much. So I had a blister pack. I already filmed my video with it. I think my best shade match so far is the shade number 6, which is the light golden tone, so that was in the light set 2. I also tried the number 7 on camera, which was the light with neutral undertones. I gave away the peach one, the number 8, and I have an additional blister pack, or like an additional peel from the blister pack with the shade 5. The shade 5 is described also as a light with neutral tones. Now the ones with the neutral tones are not exactly the perfect match for me because they add a little bit of dullness and grayness to my skin. I definitely have a somewhat warmer, like if you look at my neck, even a little bit of like olive tone. So if I were to purchase a full size, I would probably go for the shade 6 and eventually test the light medium set 1 to see whether shade 11 is an even better match for me. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling to just tell you that I want to try the shade 5 again. And I tried it yesterday, and as I remember, I really enjoyed the formula, especially how this foundation goes on the skin. It's just so smooth and so spreadable. I don't know what the appropriate verb here to use would be, but there's something about the way this foundation like spreads onto your face when you blend it out that is extremely, satisfying to me, because it just blends in so fast and so seamless. Now you can see that this is not the perfect shade for me. When you blend it out, it's fine. So I've been able to wear 3 shades in this blister pack, and while only one of them I think was a really good match for me, the other 2 were not all bad. Like if I blend this foundation out now, you will see that it doesn't look half bad in terms of a shade match. It's not perfect, but it's not awful either. Let me bring it down my neck. Now the reason I wasn't sure about this foundation the first time around, and something that again I noticed the second time around, to me this foundation is not a light coverage foundation. To me this is more of a light medium, leaning more to the medium coverage, meaning that over the course of the day, when I start to get a little bit oilier, it can start to look a little bit more foundation-y on my skin. Like I see a little bit of breaking up around this part of my face, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I have to wear a mask. But the matter of fact is that I'll probably have to wear a mask for quite some time ahead, and I don't have that issue with my other foundations, my my Estee Lauder Double Wear Nude and my Dior Backstage foundations, which are my 2 favorite foundations to wear at the moment. Now yesterday I paired the foundation with the Dior Backstage powder, so I thought maybe that is the problem. So I am going to try with my usual powder, which is the Moonlight powder from Hourglass. Now the fact that this has a more neutral tone to it mixed in with this specific shade of powder, it is absolutely not going to be a good match for me, but I want to try these 2 formulations together to see whether that will prevent the foundation from starting to look a little bit foundation-y on my skin over the course of the day. Like it starts off with a beautiful like satin finish to it, very like skin-like, very blurring, very like photoshopped effect. But over the course of the day, especially under the mask, it doesn't wear very well. Like on my forehead, for instance, I did not have any issues, but my forehead is not under the mask, so I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I have to wear a mask now. But like I said, it's not a problem I can solve anytime soon, so if I'm buying a foundation, I better be able to wear it in all conditions. Speaking of the Lisa Eldridge foundation, I don't know if you guys were following. I don't follow him anymore because I feel like he likes to stir the pot a little too much and play the drama queen a little bit too much for my taste, but this makeup artist dude, KJ, no? this dude KJ Beauty, Bennett Beauty? I don't know. I think you will recognize who I'm talking about. Anyway, so a while back Alice linked on her Instagram stories that he had posted a video. I'm taking my Milk makeup bronzer now, by the way. He had made an Instagram post sort of criticizing the campaign, the PR campaign for the Lisa Eldridge foundation, and also criticizing the shade range. Let me explain both points. For the PR campaign, he was like, yeah, she's going like a tad too far, describing this foundation as something, you know, novel, unseen, and like a formula that was made from scratch. If you look at the ingredients of the foundation, there's nothing, you know, groundbreaking about it. It's just a silicone-based foundation formula. And the second criticism he had was for the shade range, where he made a very interesting point that I don't know how to comment on because I'm not an expert, but he said it's very strange that Lisa has made olive shades of foundation, like olive undertones, without having any blue pigment in her formulation. So he said you absolutely need blue pigment in order to make olive tone foundations, and there were no blue pigments in any of the colors, and especially not in the colors that Lisa says are olive shades. I cannot comment on that second point because I have no fluffing idea when it comes to formulating undertones of foundations, how you have to mix in the pigments. What he said made sense to me, but you know, then again, I'm not a cosmetic chemist, so I don't want to put my hand in the fire and say things that may be untrue. And as far as the first point goes, the PR campaign, I agree and I disagree with him because, let me grab my blush first. I'm going to take Nude Venus from Pat McGrath. I agree with him that it's a little exaggerated to say that she reinvented foundation formulas as if she, you know, made something completely new, never seen before. But I also think that even if you're using the same raw materials and raw ingredients, you can still make a formula your own. And I think a lot of people have also noted that this foundation has a very interesting formula that they have not experienced before. And if I'm not mistaken, she still has that proprietary ingredient that makes the mesh on your skin, that like tightens and smoothens the skin, that was also present in her liquid highlighters. So I can believe that she put a lot of effort into formulating this foundation to make it her own, but at the same time, let's be realistic here. I don't know whether you can see that they're both there. Wait, let me... We have both cats hanging out with us today. Isn't that wonderful? Again, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, but as I was saying, I also cannot expect her to come up with an entirely new list of ingredients for foundation. You know, products are going to contain some basic ingredients because that just works. You cannot like go out and invent an entirely new ingredient list for a product. So I totally get that. It's not possible to do that, but I still think it's possible to make something your own. I'm going to take Lunar Nude from Pat McGrath Labs now. So I'm curious what you guys think about that. Oh, something that bothered me a little bit about his post is that he didn't actually bother with tagging Lisa in his post. I feel like if he wanted to be really fair and get a proper response on his criticisms, he should have tagged Lisa Eldridge so that she can respond, because now he's, you know, making all of these critical points without really giving the chance to the brand to explain. And I saw some people tagging Lisa on that post, but I'm not really sure she saw it, and I haven't gone back to check if she responded to it. But I think that if he wanted to say all of these things and get a response to that, he should have tagged Lisa in the original post. So I'm very curious what you guys all think about that. And now let's move into today's exciting eye look, which is going to be somewhat of a blue smoky eye, and a pairing that I was challenged to do, but at the same time I feel like it's such an obvious thing to do. We're going to take the Subliminal palette and use this shade, the shade I want to say Blitz Blue, and layer it together with the Astral from the Huetopian Dream palette, because hello, they seem like they would make such a beautiful pairing. So let's start off with the Subliminal palette. I'm going to put a little bit of this beautiful cool toned neutralish type of transition brown through my crease, and I'm happy to say it seems like my Auric order is already here, so this time it didn't take 100 years for it to arrive. Probably something went wrong last time, because it took me a month to get the first order that I made from Auric right at the beginning when they launched their products. And this time around it only took about maybe a week, I want to say. I really can't remember when exactly I placed the order, but it must not have been more than one and a half week ago. So I'm really pleased that the product is already here, and I was also really pleased to see how PostNL, our, you know, delivery, national postal delivery service, deals now with the VAT and taxes. They just send you an email, they say, hey, something arrived for you for which you have to pay this much money. Then you can go and pay online, and you don't have to bother anymore going to the pickup point to pay and pick up your package. It just arrives to your house after you have paid for your VAT and taxes. I love that. I have decided that I would like to put the tiniest bit of black blended here in my lashes and a little bit in the outer corner. So I'm going to go back into the Subliminal palette. There is a matte black in there, and I'm going to start applying that right here and pushing it into my lashes like this. Have any of you already made some Black Friday purchases makeup wise? I haven't actually bought anything. I had only one thing on my wishlist, but Mother Efforts removed it from the website, so it's not included in the Black Friday sales. The product that I'm referring to is one of the new Face and Eye palettes from Natasha Denona. When I first saw the promo images, I had zero interest in either of those palettes. They come in like a light and a dark version, and I was like, fuck that, so boring, I don't want it. And then I don't know what happened. I think I had a short circuit in my brain, and I was like, I need to have the dark one, like yesterday. So I've been stalking lookfantastic.nl and Cult Beauty for that palette, and it was in stock on Cult Beauty, but it was the original price, and that's something that I absolutely am not going to do, though. I don't want to buy that palette full price. I do want to purchase it, but I don't want to pay full price for it, because I also think that it's not something that I need. It's a want, it's not a need. I'm almost completely sure I can dupe everything out in that palette with my existing, probably even Natasha Denona collection, and I don't even have that large of a Natasha Denona collection. But for whatever reason, I feel compelled to own that Face and Eye palette. I don't know what's wrong with me. Alright, and now I'm going to... Do I want to take a brush, or do I want to go in with my fingers? You know what, I'm going to take a brush. I'm going to take my Worker Pro from Sonia G, and I'm going to go into Blitz Blue, and I'm going to start layering it all over the lid as it is dry. Fuck, I forgot what a beautiful blue that is. And basically going to start creating a classic blue smoky eye with the Subliminal palette. Just basically layering that blue all over the lid, a little bit over top of the black, and then giving it a nice blend once I go towards the crease. So do any of you own one of those Natasha Denona palettes, and what do you think about them? Should I just maybe cure myself of my unhealthy desires to own it? Or do you think that it's actually much more beautiful in real life and I will really enjoy it? Let me know. I'm going to take a little bit of glitter glue, my Pixie Epoxy over here. You can apply Intensifies from Pat McGrath. And now I'm going to take, I think, my grubby fingers, and I'm just going to go into that astral, something with moon, I can't remember the name of that shade, and I'm going to layer it over top of the blue. Oh, ooh, okay. Ooh. This astral shade just amps everything like 10 notches as soon as you apply it. It's so crazy. This looks super pretty. You know what, I'm going to also take the tiniest bit of Astral Venusian Orchid, because I really like mixing the two astrals with each other. But I'm going to take a tinier bit of that astral and just kind of mix it in with the purple blue one to see what happens. Yeah, that maybe was an overkill. Don't do that. If you're recreating this look, I don't think you need to apply Astral Venusian Orchid. Just stick to the Astral Moon something something. Beautiful. And now for my inner corners, I am going to go back into the Subliminal palette, and I'm going to take this shade. It's another one of the Astrals. It's like a white base with a blue duochrome to it. I've cleaned off my little brush here really well, and I'm going to apply this shade here through my inner corners. I think it's going to fit with this look beautifully. I mean, it's not a super groundbreaking look, but I just always wanted to try layering these two shades together, Blitz Blue and the Astral Moon shade from Huetopian Dream. Anyway, now I am going to take a tiny little shader brush such as this one, and I'm going to go back into Blitz Blue from the Subliminal palette, and I'm going to apply that right here onto my lower lashes, just to tie the look together. Now I'm going to make things even more blue. I'm going to take this Kiko eyeshadow stick in the number 44. I'm going to apply that in my waterline, and probably going to set it with a bit more of Blitz Blue from Subliminal. I'm kind of lightly setting that blue. You know what? I think I take back my words about Astral Venusian. I think it does add something a little extra to the look. I really like how it turned out. It is very dramatic though, so it's not something you can just like wear on the day-to-day. Because it turned out so dramatic, I went with something super neutral on the lips. I'm wearing Brunette Ambition, which is one of my H&M cream lipsticks. And that's all that's going to be for today's pet pairing video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought about this look in the comment section below. Mona, Lisa and I bid you a good day, and we will see each other again very soon in my next video. Bye!